Hello and welcome back to D&D with High School Students Season 5. I am here with the core crew, the cast. Kat, playing, who are you playing, Kat?
Lark.
Lark. And Lark is a human warlock person-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Ellen.
Hello. I'm playing Winny. I'm a Satyr Cleric.
A Satyr Cleric, yes, indeed. And then Josh.
I'm playing Ahkum, a totem barbarian Leonin.
Lion Man. All right. So you guys, you went to Ohiro, the largest city, if you will, in the southern part of the continent. You were having a day. You encountered a fire genasi boy who had a cryptic revelation. You were able to decipher some of the meaning of that, but then you found somebody who was able to communicate more. And this revelation brought around a warning of the awakening of an adult red dragon, who was given the name from the fire genasi boy of Zmai. The Tortle, the scholarly Tortle who interpreted all this, introduced himself as Zographos, and he seemed to you to be the head of this academy. As you were leaving, you may recall, you saw a artist who was blind in a sort of Zen frenzy of creating this scene, this artistic scene of the city basically with a red dragon descending and breathing fire. That might have left you with some feelings, so you left, and a few days later you're still in the city, but you guys wanted to conduct some business, some trade, some investigations, getting to know things, yeah? Cool. So, Ellen, I'm going to start with you.
All right.
What sort of handiworks and crafts did Winnie bring to trade?
I have a bag that makes quite a bit of noise when I move. I have, basically, she'll find literally anything out in the woods, and she'll just make it anything. She has, these little bells. She has just, little dice and things she's made. She has, little wreaths and, decorational things that she's found that people in town will trade, knickknacks for.
Okay. And you've been in town for a few days. You've been in town before. You kind of know that there's coinage to be used, but it's pretty much only used in town, right? Mm-hmm. As sort of an internal, monetary system. But the bulk of things are dealt with through barter, and oftentimes it's either trade for items or it's trade for services, right? So sometimes if there's something you want, you have to provide services to get that, or you might even have to do services for someone completely unrelated to whatever you want in order to acquire things of value, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're in the den, you're surrounded, and this is a couple days later. It's another hot day. People, throughout the city are whispering about. Have you heard about this dragon? Yeah, I heard there's a dragon that's been spotted in the mountains, and there's a lot of gossip going around already in the city. But you find a small hut that looks like it's been part of the den for a long time, and it's kind of a hut with a tent out the back of it, and there's a old Camino woman, and she kind of has curios, just little knickknacks and odds and ends and stuff in her shop for trade, and she also purchases these things.
She outside, or is she?
Yeah, she's sitting in a wooden chair with a little cloth canopy giving her some shade. Mm-hmm. And she sees you and she says, "Well, good morning."
Hi, is this a place where I can trade things?
Oh, of course,
I've gone
my
to a couple
dear.
different places. All right. Well, I'm looking in particular for. Do you have anything that could help with Well, I had something attack my garden recently. I kind of lost what I need to make healing things. Do you have anything I could healing potions? I don't know. Those are pretty rare.
Oh well, I don't, but I can direct you to one who would.
Oh, where?
Votano, he is an herbalist. If you head north through the den, and at the north gate entrance, by the white marble fountain, You then head west. And you go several blocks until you see a one-story cottage with a 10-foot tall door. And it is a white stone cottage. You cannot miss it. This is the shop of Votano. He is an herbalist. He would have these potions. He deals in all sorts of matters of herbalism and apothecary and the healing arts. He is a gentle giant, if you will.
All right, I can go there.
Is anyone else with me? Or
Are you all walking along as a gang of friends?
I'm splitting up.
Okay.
I think we'd probably split up, do our separate stuff, and then meet back up together before we leave.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So she tells you about Votano the herbalist.
I will go there.
Smash cut over to you, kitty cat.
All right.
Where are you gonna go?
I'm looking for. Do I know anyone in the city? Have I been here before? So we're to the point where like someone, maybe one specific like shop might recognize me.
Describe what kind of shop or environment you'd like to know about.
Maybe like a tavern or a potion shop. Maybe like something that's kind of stuck at like in the back of the wall. I don't know what the right words are for it. But
there's a place called the Silent Sparrow, and it was a tavern at one point, but it has become much more. It's kind of become a social gathering place. It's still a tavern. It's still an inn, and it even has a casino. It's kind of like one of those places that started off as like a one-story house that just kept building additions on in awkward directions. And some of it, like the original building's stone, but then some of the additions are wood, and like it's kind of a mix match. That is kind of like it's kind of like a refuge for travelers or for people who maybe don't want to be found, who want to enjoy their time in the city. You do know, I would say, do you have nature or medicine as a proficiency?
I have nature.
Okay, then you might have heard of Votano the herbalist, because he does quite a large business. And you know that he not only sells herbs and remedies and spices and all sorts of apothecary sort of things, but he also hires people to acquire rare ingredients and components and herbs. So a lot of people kind of either go to him or they get work from him. So those are some places that you know about.
Excellent. I think I will stop by there eventually, but before I do, I want to just walk around the city looking for a shop that catches my eye visually, like from the outside, not necessarily the contents of the inside of the store, but the store sign or how it's decorated or whatnot. I'm looking for something that looks bright, colorful, exciting.
Okay. The Golden Triangle hops out at you.
Mm-hmm.
This place is a inn, and it's been in the city, and it's survived numerous sieges and assaults on the city. It's a 2-story stone building. The main level is kind of an inn. The upper level is where the family who owns the store lives in a tower. Mm-hmm. And you see that, you know, outside, affixed to this wooden sign is a metal, what you assume to be iron triangle that's painted gold, because nobody in their right mind would put an actual gold triangle on a wooden sign where it could be stolen. Despite the excellent law enforcement of the Stratos, like, there are still thieves who like to take things. But you have heard that this family dabbles in the esoteric arts, and that they come from a line of arcanists, of people who study magic and the wielding of magic.
Interesting. I think I'll walk into the Golden Triangle for a moment.
Okay. It is a bustling inn. The main level of the Golden Triangle, you see every mix of the denizens of the city here. You see, you know, a few lizard folk, you see some Tabahi, you see There's a few satyrs, plenty of kamina, and it's loud. There's food being served, there's drinks, and in the corner you actually see a trio of centaur bards who are playing music. One of them is playing multiple drums, like this kind of concoction with like bells and drums on it. And then another one is playing this like large, long stringed instrument, which is kind of like a weird sort of like extended lute with bass strings on it. And the other one is playing a pan flute, like this wooden flute with all these cool different tones. And they're playing this very melodic kind of festive music. And there are even some people dancing and kind of celebrating. It seems like nobody's really worried about the impending doom of the dragon in this place.
I think I'm gonna stop by is there like a bar or something?
Yeah, there are tons of tables. Every one of them is full. And there's a long bar.
Okay.
It's a wooden bar, but the surface of the top of the surface is like granite. And there are 3 bartenders serving drinks and serving food to people who are lined up at the bar.
Okay, I'm gonna line up at the bar.
Okay. You wait a little bit, your turn comes around, and the bartender kind of looks at you and he's like, "What can I get for you?"
I'm curious, what's the cause for celebration? Everyone seems so jovial in this building.
Well, let's say that for some, the impending doom of a red dragon could be terrifying, but for certain families, we welcome the opportunity. He says, those who have the means to subdue, dominate, or otherwise capture a dragon of this power stand to increase their own power exponentially.
I see.
And he, at this, and he's kind of like a dark-skinned man with like dark curly hair and kind of a bushy mustache, and he kind of twists up the edge of his mustache, and he's like, yes, we are looking forward to this coming of this dragon.
So there's people here who are looking to kill and or capture or...
Oh, to kill such a magnificent beast would be a shame. Why would anyone do this? This would be horrible. The Stratos, of course, would, but... and he looks around and he's like... You see that he's like looking around again, and then you notice that there's no Leonin in this bar. And he looks back at you, he's like, the Stratos would probably kill it, but we hope to capture it before they kill it.
Interesting. You are part of this.
Yes. I should say my aunts and uncles look to capture this beast.
Frankly, I am intrigued. What family are you from?
We are the Staphylia. We own the vineyards. You, without making a history check, you've heard of this family. This is one of the wealthiest families in the city. You weren't aware that they also owned the Golden Triangle, but the Staphylia vineyards are renowned. They are basically they are the largest winemakers in the entire region, and they basically are a massive economic force in this city.
How do you plan to capture this dragon?
It's like, I don't know. My aunts and uncles, and he points upstairs. He says, they have ways.
Interesting.
And you know that the upstairs is the tower where this wizarding family kind of dwells. Right about this time, you walk in because you're hungry and thirsty.
Why capture the dragon when you could eat the dragon?
And you walk in and you go ahead and make an insight roll.
Insight. Oh.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Okay, you walk in and immediately you were like, oh, people weren't expecting to see one of me. Because you walk in and it's like a record scratch. Like the band stops playing, everybody turns and looks, and like a couple of people whisper and they're like, is it Stratos? No, it's not Stratos. Yeah, go on. And the music starts back up.
Is the triangle really made of gold?
He says, that one outside?
There's another?
He says, that is just on the sign. He says, you want to see the real one? You're not a thief, are you?
Absolutely not.
He says, okay, I show you. He goes back through the door behind the bar into the kitchen, and a couple minutes later, he comes back out with a small wooden chest. And he opens up the lid of the chest, and as he opens it, it's like there's a soft, warm, golden glow emanating from the chest, and it like hits your eyes before you even see what's inside. And he holds it up to you and he says, look. And what you see inside, it's not quite a triangle. You see a small crystal, and the crystal is has like a glowing, pulsating, orange-yellow kind of magical dweemer. And it's just sitting on a bed of velvet inside the chest. He says, you see?
Magnificent, yes. What does it do?
He says, he closes it, and you see he turns the little lock. He says, I don't know. I don't do the magic, I do the business. But my aunts and uncles, they say it contains the power of fire.
It's incredible.
Yes, I think they will use it to lure this dragon. He
Why
says,
is the tavern
what
named...
is your name, girl? What is your name?
Oh, Sawyer.
Soya.
Yes.
Pretty name.
Thank
Pretty name. I am Stavos.
Wonderful to meet you.
I must return this, but we will talk.
Of course.
And he goes back into the kitchen.
While he goes back into the kitchen, can I reach over the bar and take a bottle of ale?
Oh, it's time for a sleight of hand.
Whatever, kind of just crime. Crime.
Ellen, I need you to roll me a d20. Sometimes I like to have fun and I make a player roll for the NPC.
17.
Okay, I have a...
How badly did you roll, Kat?
Oh no!
My mic came off. But that is a +5, but I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You clip your mic back on as I evaluate the 17 that Ellen rolled, which does not even take into account the bonus for perception.
No.
Here's what happens. You go to reach and you grab the bottle. And you get the bottle, and you take the bottle and you jacket the bottle, cloak the bottle, right? And you're like, yay, I got away with it. You feel like you got away with it.
Okay.
Now you need to tell me what your passive perception is.
Okay, my passive perception is 12.
Okay, so you're like, yeah, I got the bottle, and you go to tap it, and it's gone already. Now make a perception check, because naturally, when your bottle isn't where you just put it, one might look around to see where it
This
is.
dice goes in jail. This is an 11.
All right, 11's good enough to see what happened. You see your bottle invisibly floating. Your bottle is invisibly floating back around and over to the bar. And that's when it occurs to you that maybe there's some magic that took that bottle back from you and put it by the bar. As you're walking in, you see this. You see her by the bar. You see it looked like she reached over, and you couldn't see from behind exactly what happened. But then you saw a bottle float out of the back of her jacket and around behind her and back over to the bar. And you know that's some kind of suspicious looking magic, which you inherently probably don't trust.
Hey, what was that?
What?
The floating bottle.
Oh, I have no idea.
Insight, please.
Yes.
3.
You're like,
Bad rolls all
you're
around.
like, I guess she doesn't know what kind of. Maybe I was just hallucinating in this weird place. She doesn't seem to notice. The bar seems very busy. Stavos returns, and he says, he walks out,
Stavos.
and he sees you, and he sees Ahkum, and he's like, ah, and then he looks, and he's like, oh, not Stratos, right?
Huh.
He goes, not Stratos? Oh, good. He goes, you thirsty?
Yeah.
You like wine?
No.
He goes, too bad. This is what we have. Here, he gives you wine. He says, girl, whose
I
name?
think I
I
take
forget
it from-
your name again. What is it?
Sawyer.
Soya. Yes, that's it.
I know
You
I
want wine?
that.
I give wine. He goes, you
Oh,
are.
thank you so much.
He says, yes. So now you know the secret of the real Golden Triangle.
I do.
Don't tell anyone because there are thieves in the city. You know, people who steal.
Yes, I'll keep it most hushed.
Yes. So this your friend, this big lion.
Are you
You
Mr.
can say that.
Triangle?
I am family of Mr. Triangle. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm trying to sell these things I have. Can you point me in a direction of someone that might be able to sharpen my axe?
He says, "Oh, this big axe you want to make better, make trade?"
No,
Yeah?
I just want it to work.
Oh yeah, yes. You can go to any of the blacksmith. They make it. But if you want very good axe make for you, you find Spotty. Spotty is the best weaponsmith. He goes, "You want to see Spotty? I'll show you. Hold on 1 minute." He goes, "Hey cousin, bring over that knife made by Spotty." And one of the other cousins who comes around the corner, who has a beard and dark curly hair and brown eyes, he comes around the corner and he pulls out this dagger and he sets it on the bar. And he pulls it out of the sheath, and you see this dagger is the most immaculate looking blade that you've ever seen. It looks like you could like shave the wings off of a fly. Like, it is incredibly sharp. He picks up the dagger and he balances it on one finger, and then he flips it and catches it and then puts it back in the sheath. And he says, "You see this? That dagger made by Spotty for his 16th birthday. His present from our uncle. So you want the best axe for you, big lion man. You seek Spotty, but they can also sharpen your old axe to make it good. Yes. He has assistant boys and girls who do this sharpening. It's a very simple thing. Yes.
And they're all like that, like fancy and whatnot.
Yes, he can make for you. You know, he make the special weapons when a member of the Stratos become a captain. He is the only one who the Stratos do for these commissions. He's for axes, he's for spears, swords, tritons, you know, these kind of things.
Well, not really my, shtick, but I'll think about him, maybe.
Yes. Well, you enjoy wine? Soya?
Yes.
It's very nice to meet you. You are welcome here anytime. I tell all
Thank
my
you.
cousins to let you come in and make table for you next time. You
Oh.
can come with your friend. He's not Stratos.
Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Yes.
Well,
Soya?
yes.
I go back to work now. He leaves. So you guys are in the bar. Smash cut back to you. You're walking through, you're following the old lady's directions. And sure enough, a couple blocks north and west of the den, you come across this strange building. It's not a big building. It's like a cottage, like a single-story, modest home. But the front door is 10 feet tall. It goes all the way up to the roof line. And there's a wooden sign out front. And it's got pictures of like flowers and herbs.
Hello?
Yes, 1 minute, please.
I don't think I can open the door. It's too
A
late.
few moments later, you hear like, and the door opens, and you see, looking down at you, this man whose head goes to the very threshold of this door. You see a very large furbolg. Now, furbolg are large, as it is, but this is a big furbolg. And he has a gentle face. He looks like he's like probably a middle-aged furbolg. And he says, "Well, hello. Good morning. How can I help you?
You're really big. Hi.
You wish to come into my shop? Come."
Yeah, all right.
He stands back and opens the door, and you smell this like cornucopia of like smells of like flowers and like spices and herbs. You're like, oh, like it's incredible. And you see in the main entrance of this home, and like the front room of this home, are counters and shelves all along the walls full of like vials and jars, and even like hanging from the rafters of the ceiling are like all these like different herbs and flower bunches and stuff. And then he has pots, like potted plants with different flowers and herbs. Behind a counter, he has even more stuff. So he kind of lumbers through and he's like, feel free to look around and tell me what it is that you might need.
Well, I'm looking for two things in particular. I'm looking for, well, there's a dragon or something coming, so maybe a healing potion. And then, do you have anything that can kill birds?
These are two very odd requests, you
I'm
must
aware.
see. I do have things that would address both of those needs.
Alright.
Though, do not concern yourself, small one, with the matters of a large dragon. I trust that the city of Ohiro has stood for much time and shall stand longer. Despite the concerns, there are many powerful allies of Ohiro who will come together, certainly many heroes, who will stave off such a catastrophic attack. But nonetheless, it is wise to be prepared. I have a number of potions which could facilitate your survival. Potions of healing, to be certain, but also perhaps you might be interested in some potion of fire resistance.
That does sound better, yeah.
Yes. Now, to the matter of killing birds, I am not fond of such a thing. I'm not certain why you would need to kill birds, but I do have some concoctions, some tinctures that you can mix with water and spray on plants to drive the birds away, as it is.
Will it kill them?
It would kill them if they consumed it, as it
Alright.
would be considered a poison to the birds. But more than likely, their instincts would simply instruct them to avoid this area. If it is pests that you wish to drive away, this would suit your needs.
Yeah, both those sound good. Now, I know there's like money here. I don't really have like a lot of that. I more have like other things. I have plants and things. I don't know.
I could be open to a negotiation. What do you have to offer?
Well, I got all these.
She points to her the brim of her hat, which it just has like an amalgamation of like various like herbs and things growing on it from her own garden. And then she has like a bag full of just like knickknacks and things and like.
The knickknacks and things, are they actually crafted items that have monetary value, or are they
This is what she does.
imagined to have monetary value and they're really just junk?
She makes things.
makes
This is what she like. She actually does like spend time like making like things to look nice.
I'm going to have you choose
Yes.
a skill that represents her ability in making things. So say she has a proficiency in some artistic endeavor, right? Mm-hmm. Add your proficiency bonus to your wisdom bonus
Okay.
and make a roll
Okay.
and tell me the measure of success for that.
Proficiency
This is going to
plus-
kind of represent some of her,
Oh, they go
work.
to dice. I'm proficient.
Yeah, add proficiency and wisdom bonus. What do you have?
I rolled a 2 on the die.
Okay,
So that is
not 10.
not a 10.
So
but
you
I
have a lot of-
I have the guidance cantrip.
Okay, I'll let you add that in.
So this is an 11 now.
Okay, so effectively, all of your stuff that you have is worth about 11 gold worth of trade.
You'll love to see it. Will that get me bird poison or a potion of fire resistance?
Bird poison, yes. Oh, sorry, wrong accent. Bird poison, yes. Potions, not quite. However, you seem to be competent in your knowledge of the herbs. Meta moment. Do you have herbalism or nature?
I have medicine, which I consider to be the herbalism
Okay,
skill.
I'll throw you a bone. So, in the absence of nature or herbalism, do you have survival? Do you have any friends who have survival?
I have plus
Do you
3
have
to
any
my
friends who have nature?
Out of nature.
Oh, how convenient. I swear I didn't plan this.
Me too.
He says, I am in need of a number of special exotic herbs that I use for the crafting and creation of various tinctures, ointments, antidotes, and potions. Would you, and perhaps any associates with whom you are comfortable, be willing to collect such things for me, and in return earn a credit such that I would be able to provide you with a commensurate quantity of healing potions and perhaps even one of my very rare fire resistance potions?
I mean, maybe. I'd have to ask. I don't know at the moment.
I will be open until sundown.
All
I
right.
give you this day and only this day, my small friend, to make this decision. For my need for these objects, these components, is urgent. And if you should return today, I will give you a map of the approximate location and a list with small illustrations of the specific herbs and roots which I seek, that you and your friends might acquire them and earn credit with me.
All right. But
Do we
can
have a initial accord?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Very well.
Can I still buy the bird poison, though?
Yes, I will take all of these items.
Okay.
If you
I'll just-
kindly put them in this basket for me.
Takes her bag, just dumps it.
Yeah, he has this like wicker basket. And then he says, oh, very good, yes, nice. He says, now, this is a concentrate. And he shows you the small vial. He says, you must mix this with 3 gallons of water. And then spray the area which you intend to affect to repel the avian invaders, as it were, so that you do not kill them, but it will certainly drive them away. And he hands it to you.
All right. Not killing them.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, I hope to see you again. I'm sorry. I gave you my name, but I did not catch yours.
Winnie.
Winny. Well, Winny, it is a pleasure. And again, I am Botano. I hope that I will see you again.
Yeah, all right.
And he slowly walks over and opens up the door for you and gestures
leave.
to his nice. And you notice now you're like, you know what, this is a nice little cottage, but it does have a 10-foot tall door. And it seems out of scale,
I'm
but
4 feet tall.
yeah.
I'm 4 feet tall.
You would have been like, I can't reach. So yeah, he you go outside and you walk past his little front garden and there's butterflies and bees pollinating his herbs and stuff. And then he closes the door. Smash cut. You're in the Golden Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Who, Sonya? Who? What? Sanja? Huh?
Sawyer.
Sawyer.
Yes.
Who?
Me.
Alright.
Is meta moment. Would Ahkum be familiar by this time with the fact that you assume different identities?
I would
Yes,
say
but
so.
he doesn't remember any of them.
Okay, good. So he knows that you have this tendency, but he doesn't necessarily remember all of them. Okay, good. That'll make for fun. All right, back in.
So, I'm here to eat.
I was here to gain information, which I did.
Then why are you here?
To get information.
Didn't you do that?
Yes, I'm on my way out.
Alright. You gonna finish that?
The what?
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, what is the wine a specific brand?
It's their brand. It's the Staphylia Vineyards.
It's pretty nice.
They make a dry white wine. They make a sweet white wine. They make a dry red wine, and they make a sweet red wine.
Which one is it?
This is the sweet one, because Stavos is he gives away the stuff that doesn't sell as much for free. So It's like the least popular.
Okay. Bummer. You want to drink this?
I mean,
I'm going to drink this.
all right, cheers.
Cheers.
It's refreshing.
Is this like a human-sized portion?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a small wooden mug. For you, it's like a Dixie cup. You're like, meh. Like, it's a nice little taste, but it does not quench your thirst.
I don't drink it. I put it back in my coat.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you keep the mug.
Keep the cup.
Wait, I thought it's a bottle.
No. You have a wooden mug.
Okay. No, I drink it then.
Hey, bartender, give me a glass. Takes the glass, puts it in a coat, walks out.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say this. Do you have either of you have Arcana?
I do not.
No.
Okay.
We're
enough.
playing a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, and we live in the forest.
We do.
Just wait until the first combat, though. All right.
Oh.
So,
Do you have any like paper or notes I could write stuff on? Because I
Yes.
want to just temporarily.
here you can use the back
We're
of
not
this
going to screw
intellectual
around in
property
combat.
of Bill
It's going
Allen.
to be obnoxious.
This is very much just a general question. Where was
Yeah.
the direction of that, the smith?
Oh, that's towards the east.
Okay.
His compound, and I say compound because he's like wealthy. His home and his forge and his shop are all part of a compound that is just down the hill from the castle. You actually would have passed it when you guys first went up to the castle.
Okay. And
So
is it like behind one of those gates, or is it just outside?
No. It's not within the
Okay.
castle. He is his own business front, but he lives in the wealthy side of town, basically.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, you know where that is.
And another thing, have I like routinely gone to anyone to sell like these pelts that I've gathered? Like, is there someone I'd be like a regular client of?
Oh yeah, in the den there are multiple people who will buy that stuff. So what I'm going to have you do is similar to what Winny did. You have to make a survival check. I'm assuming that's your appropriate skill, and you would add in your bonuses and all that stuff. Tell me what that roll is.
Would I add proficiency already to survival if I'm already proficient in it? Like, do I
No,
add,
just whatever your roll is.
12 plus 4 for survival would be 16.
Oh, 16 is very strong. So you basically have enough pelts that you have amassed since the last time you came into the city. You have like 16 gold worth of pelts, okay? So you could trade that for 16 gold of Ohiro gold, which is great in Ohiro. And you know that you can use that within the city.
Okay.
So you guys, after the bar, are you going to accompany him to the den?
Yeah, I will.
Would I have any leftover gold?
You have herbalism or nature?
Nature.
Okay, make a nature check. Let me know what the result is. Would you have what?
Leftover gold from the 11 that I earned, I guess.
You have 11. You have all of it.
Oh, okay.
He gave you the bird poison for free.
Oh, for free.
Because you are nice. And secretly he hopes that you're not going to murder birds with it, even though you probably will. All right, what'd you get, Kat?
If they make me mad.
6. I feel like I would know this.
So
though.
look,
I would.
you know of there are some antidotes. Okay, none of them are permanent. That's the state of things.
Okay.
They're temporary.
Right. Yeah.
You know that the herbs required though are a little bit difficult to find.
Okay.
That you would have to go forage for them.
Got it.
And that you don't know where to find them in this region, but there are probably people who do.
Okay.
Vis-a-vis the herbalist guy that she just went to.
Great.
So, you guys bump into each other. You're in the den. Frolic, loudness, laughing, celebration, worry, murmuring, gossiping about dragons, people selling things, people cooking things, people making things. You sell your pelts. Spit, swap, handshake, boom, you get your whatever it was, 16 gold. You're flush with cash. You are also flush with cash and have bird poison, and you see your friends. just as Ahkum is concluding his business of selling pelts.
I have a possible job if we want to leave the city.
I mean,
I'm quite enjoying my time here.
All right then. Okay.
well, I don't know. It might be fun. What is it?
So I was talking to a guy. He gave me bird poison, but he was saying that we could go get him some plants. You know why I need bird poison?
Yeah, but
Okay.
just gave it to you?
Yeah, he did. I don't know, but he's saying that we could go east, and then maybe we could get him some stuff, and then if we came back, he would give us more stuff.
Just like go out and grab things?
Yeah.
You're here, right?
I mean, yes, it sounds plausible.
And he'd pay us.
Yeah, or give us stuff, like useful stuff, you know. Like a drink where if you drink it, fire doesn't work on you anymore. So that'd be good if there's a dragon, because I know you're not immune to fire
I'm not immune.
yet.
I mean,
Have we
better if
tried?
you are.
His mane is quite long. I mean,
Better fluffy.
Have we
I guess the ends would catch on fire in case that
No,
see it a
just-
little singed.
then-
do we
Right.
know that
Yeah.
do we know that you're immune to fire? Like, do we
I
know if
mean-
you're not?
Yeah, that's a
there a
meta
torch
question.
nearby?
So you guys are in control of what your characters know about each other. So if you decide that you're okay with them, that at some point Ahkum would have, in confidence, revealed whatever he has the ability to do, that's the kind of thing that you would need to convey.
I feel like he doesn't care, like at all. Like if they would have seen him.
So let's
just
do this.
tank
Let's
something.
do a flashback briefly in like 30 seconds. Describe the scene, Josh, where you as Ahkum revealed to your friends, or how they discovered this ability that you have.
Maybe a group of raiders came by us that tried to attack us on our way into town.
Very common thing.
He just got real mad and may or may not have just, used his axe for something other than skinning pelts.
Okay. And is this a vis-a-vis rage?
Yeah, this would be rage. Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So it is known. It is known. So Winny provides you with this information. I don't know that you guys would have necessarily known the name of. You have heard of an herbalist, but you don't necessarily know the name of, or you've not patronized Votano's shop.
Some pelts. Well, unless you guys have anything else to do, I don't mind going out looking for these things.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with plants. So
How long would it take? I certainly want to visit the city at least one more time before it gets ultimately, possibly destroyed by a dragon. Do I
did
doubt
not
that?
ask. He just kind of told me, and then I left.
Very well.
He did tell you that he would provide you with maps and details of what you're looking for.
You did say how long it was, though. Yes. So
Yes.
I don't know. how
Let's
long
do
would
it.
take. All right, yeah.
Okay.
Just got to go back to his house. There's a really big door. I couldn't open it. He can open it.
Like how big? Like me big?
Bigger.
Oh, all right.
You won't hit your head on this time.
Let's go there.
So you guys make your way again through the den. You just having walked back, you kind of lead the way. You pass the den, you go out the gate, you go down into the kind of more residential neighborhood. And these are people of a modest means, people who live within the city. There are sometimes multiple families living in one building. And you see a modest-sized white stone cottage with a 10-foot tall door that goes up to the roof line, as if they had to almost build the roof out just to make space for that. And there's a very nice garden in the front with plants in planting beds and flowers and herbs, and you see some like butterflies and some bees. You even see a couple birds at a bird feeder.
It's a bit of a meta question.
Yeah.
Do you have catnip work on Leonin's backing?
I was
Yes.
gonna ask this.
It does.
Not directly, but there is a similar herb that is attractive to that
Interesting.
specific.
Hey, I have a question.
Do I smell
Yes.
it?
Winnie has a big garden. Would that be anywhere in it?
Maybe.
Out in the woods?
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
outlawed in the city because of the West
I would
Garden.
say that there are
Yards.
certainly herbs that could be used and spices that can be used in other plant products for,
Torch around all
for
the gardens.
medicinal or recreational purposes in this
Infiltrating.
land. Yeah. No, I mean there is an actual. None of your characters necessarily would know this because none of you are really have like a criminal background yet, or a or a rogues. So you wouldn't necessarily have these affiliations. But let's say that you would have heard that, certainly there are drugs, right? There are drugs that are sometimes used for spiritual awakenings and insights. And
Do
then
they
there are
grow
drugs that are
naturally?
used for medicinal purposes and drugs that are used for recreational purposes. So I would say you're
infiltrate
familiar
the
with that.
Stratos
Just
using
the image
fantasy
of
catnip.
the most elite guard
they-
force, light a torch, they're all high.
Do they grow naturally in the forest?
Some do, yes. Some
I haven't
things, some of
encountered
these
them.
things grow naturally. Some are compounds, right, of like multiple derivatives and concentrates and stuff. Like I'm not a chemist, so I don't really
Okay.
understand all that shit. But you get the point. So, all right. So you get back to Votanos. You see the building, big door, knock knock.
Can I try to open it?
Sure. It is unlocked.
Oh. Hello. You're
You
tall.
walk in, and 5 feet away from you, walking slowly towards the door, is the biggest furbolg you've ever seen. And he has a gentle face and a hand that is the size of your head. He's like, hello. He's like, welcome back, small one.
Hi, I brought my friends.
Winny, I am pleased to see you. You are friends of Winny, I assume?
You could say that.
Well, and he looks and he says, in Leonin, with a very good pronunciation, he says, welcome to you, my friend. This is my humble home. In
kind of nod
Leonin,
his head.
and you're actually impressed by his pronunciation.
Okay. He'll nod his head and respond. Hi. Hello.
And he says, I am Votano. I am sure Winny. He says, please come into my home. You see, as I described, shelves of dried herbs, powdered spices and herbs. You see like wooden tables with stuff. You see things hanging from the rafters. It's just jam-packed with all sorts of items. He says, so I take it that you are going to engage in this offer that I've made Winny for acquiring some necessary components. He says, excellent. And are any of you familiar with herbs, plants, items of this sort?
Kind of.
Good,
Somewhat,
very
yes.
good.
I've eaten
Yes.
them before.
He says, now, let me see. And he reaches over and he grabs a ledger book and kind of flips through and he takes a parchment and some ink and lightly begins sketching. And you're astounded at this creature whose hands are this massive, like huge hands. But he has a very subtle and dexterous pen stroke. And he begins lightly sketching out these pictures of these different herbs and plants and roots. And this whole process takes maybe like an hour, but he explains to you during this process this list of ingredients that he requires, right? And he has he's named the herbs, he has identified what they look like with his little sketches, and then on a second sheet of paper, he has given you a sketch of a map of the surrounding area with like kind of letters next to each herb, like this is A, B, C, D. So he's sketched out where approximately these things grow in nature. When this whole process is done, he kind of like sets those out on the table for you guys to look at and dry, and as the ink is drying, he's explaining to you that this will give you an idea of where to find these things. Now, it should possibly take half of a day to arrive at this area. You may wish to explore it, make a camp, begin gathering and acquiring these things. It could take you a day, perhaps two. I do not know, as I have not ventured out of the city walls in a good year, perhaps year and a half, to acquire these herbs. But the last time I was in this area, it was quite peaceful, relatively quiet. Now, there are some occasional obstacles in nature that you should be aware of. The rock folk, for example, may not appreciate when you try to acquire the cracked herbs which grow from the mountainside. In the lower plains, you may even come across some feral dogs. They tend to scavenge for meat in this area. So there may be some obstacles along the way, but should you acquire all of these elements and bring them back, depending on the quantities that you acquire, I will be able to credit you very handsomely. He says, I have ample supplies of gold coins for any trade you wish to conduct in Ohiro, or if you should wish to conduct business with me. As Winny indicated, perhaps you were interested in some potions, antidotes. I have many in stock. So, do we have an accord?
Sure.
Yeah.
He says, oh, excellent. And he leans forward, and with his delicate pen stroke, he signs his name, and he passes the third sheet of paper, which is a sort of a simple contract that basically delineates that you guys are going to acquire this stuff. He will pay you the market rate for all these different things, and that if you spend your earned income at his store, that basically it's like 20% value bonus, right? Or you just take your money in coins. He passes that for you to sign. What name do you put?
Sawyer.
Okay. He passes it for you to sign.
Winny.
He passes it for you to sign.
Can I have some ink?
Yeah.
Dips his finger in ink and just puts
Okay.
one.
He goes, oh yes, your mark. Well done. He lets that set, and then he holds up the other two parchments, the map and the ingredients list with the illustrated pictures. And he says, well, and he hands them to you, and he says, good luck then, and may the gods watch over you.
Thank you.
And also with you.
Yes.
Sure. Thanks.
Somehow I slipped back into the turtle monk. Good day then, my friends. Let me open the door for you. And he opens the door.
Says,
I think I'm going to have some beans and rice now. He's a vegan for Walt. That's
As
his
we
jam.
walk out
Yeah.
and the door closes behind us, is there any that appear to be unaware small creatures in this Forbulg's garden that might look like
I
the
will let
perfect
you
snack?
choose either perception or survival. Perception to perceive them, survival to catch them. Either way, make a roll.
Survival. It's gonna be a 15.
You were like, meow, ping, and you snag like a little field rat. You got it.
Just pop in his mouth.
Okay.
Eat.
I'm jealous, my friend.
Yes, you see the more feral behavior of your Leonin friend
Feral.
as he consumes a raw field rat.
That's
What?
good shit.
It's
That's
like,
not feral.
that's a meal, it's fine.
Of course.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, it was there. What's it gonna do?
I'm not looking at you funny. I've done that before.
I mean, he is. I'm just pointing at this rabbit. It's like what he seems to be a
There
commoner.
literally is like a guy, like a neighbor across the way who saw you do that, and then like was staring, and then when you pointed at him, he's like, oh, and he's like goes back to like randomly like raking his front yard.
City people. I mean,
So
Strange.
you guys have a list of ingredients. You have a job, a sort of quest, if you will, to acquire these things. and this is going to lead you east out of the city and along the rim of the mountains. Some of these ingredients have to be acquired in the lower foothills and mountains. Some of them have to be acquired in the plains and the woodlands. So either way, you'll be leaving the safety of the walled city of Ohiro to go out in the wilds. A proposition that you're not unfamiliar with. You guys have had plenty of experience doing that. So, are there any supplies that you want to acquire before you go leaving the city? Yes.
I want to note as I'm walking around just a little more, I'm going to pass like, what time of day is it?
It is 4 p.m.,
Okay.
but it's always hot and sunny. So until like sunset, it's always like 80 degrees.
Okay. I'm gonna pass by the golden triangle. How high up is the golden triangle sign? Like the triangle itself.
Cry.
Yes. So it is. That's a good question. So it hangs off or underneath the soffit or whatever of the first floor. So maybe like 9 feet in the air, right? Like he could reach up and grab it.
No, I don't want to reach up and grab it. Can I?
No, you do.
Can I do the shitty 8th grader thing where you jump out and hit the wall?
Yes.
But I jump up and hit the sign and I go, good luck! And then I continue walking down the street.
Yes. You make an acrobatics check because if you fail, it'll be funny.
Okay. What? I've used 5 different dice. All 5 have rolled 2 plus 2. 4.
You're like, huh, huh, and you slip in the mud and you fall down. There's no mud. You slip in the dry dirt because it's hot and dry. You almost tagged it.
I try again.
You succeed this time.
Good luck.
Yep.
On our way out, I just want to take a look at a place that I heard of.
And kind of make his way towards what he assumes to be the compound of.
Oh yes, Spothy the weaponsmith. It's actually on the way out.
Is it?
If you
Okay.
go through the east gate, yeah, you'll pass it. So you're walking out of the central market of the den, and you're kind of heading east. And as you did before, you see the castle looming. You see the finer upper level homes that are all stone and built into the mountain. Those are where the wealthiest noble families live. You're one notch down from that, so it's still pretty nice. And soon you come across the compound, which is a walled compound of Spothy the weaponsmith. You see a very nice home, like a 2-story stone house. And then you see a forge, which is bellowing smoke into the air, like cooking hot. And you see at least a dozen, like through the wrought iron gates in the wall, you could see the employees like working, going in and out. Some of them are like stacking horseshoes and stuff. The gates are open, and you see customers kind of coming in and out. There are also multiple guards on the grounds. And you know that they're guards because they basically are just standing in a guard-type position, watching people go in and out.
Do I see anyone currently working with metal and making anything right now?
Yes. The front of the forge is open for a reason, because otherwise it would be like 900 degrees, right? So you see people, like, there are like 3 smiths working the forge right now at this very moment. You are not sure exactly who Spothy is. You know that he's a centaur, but you don't see any centaurs working in the forge right now. You also see the shop, which is the building where like finished products are. That's like up ahead across the grounds. So there's this like little square, you know what I mean, of like nice house, forge, like barracks, shop.
Judging from the way these smiths are working, do they appear to be like more wealthy people, like what they're wearing and whatnot?
They are, no. Nope. They seem to be like craftsmen. They seem to be, you could tell the difference between like a craftsman and like an assistant, right? Like the assistants are in the forge, like working the bellows and like handing things and tools and stuff and running errands back and forth. The craftsmen, the people working are all smiths, like solid smiths.
Well, maybe when we're done with this thing, I'll check this place out.
Okay, so you know where it is. You took a peek in, you kind of saw how things looked, you keep walking. You guys go out the east gate, I'm assuming, unless there's any other shopping or tasks that you needed to do before you leave the city.
No, I think I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good.
All right. And how much water and food do you have? Because you know that it's going to be about a half-day travel to get to the rough area where you're going to be doing all this gathering.
So it's one of those then.
We'll find it.
Oh,
I
good.
have create and destroy water.
Game on. I love a good match of I didn't plan. All right, so you guys leave the east gate and you start heading down the path that kind of goes down the hill towards the level part of the land. To the north on your left, you see the foothills rising to the mountains. And straight ahead of you, you see open plains that are going to lead towards a spotty sort of forested land. Yes.
I bring a water skin, but I fill it with wine.
Well played. I'm not sure where you get the wine, but I'll just Jesus
I
that.
got it from the Golden Triangle.
Oh,
wait.
that little cup of
Yeah.
wine. Yeah, you're like, psst. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I have a water skin. How many gallons does a water skin carry again?
It'll cover you for a gallon.
Well, collectively, how many gallons of water would all of our water skins be?
Let's say 1, 2, 3 gallons of water.
Create and destroy water.
Okay, so you can
Yeah.
fill your water plentifully. Fine. Fantastic.
Cast it.
Beautiful. You have vessels for your water. You'll find your own food. The spirit of adventure awaits as you head out of Ohiro into the wilds of Chamenos to find herbs. And that is where we'll end this episode of Season 5 of DnD High School Students. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace out. We love you. Bye.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bill Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.